What's up, coffee drinkers? I'm Chad,
And I'm Luke.
and we are the Coffee Nerds. We'll try out a coffee, let you know what we think, and end with some awesome trivia.
Yes.
Today, we're going to be trying some pumpkin spices in our coffee. Yummy, yummy, yum. So, continuing with our video game console battles, we will be looking at the rise of Xbox and Sega's final hurrah. Stick around to the end to find out what happened in these console wars.
Yeah. All right. Pumpkin spice coffee time.
Do you know what's in this fancy mix?
Voila. So this one's actually pretty simple. It's just cinnamon, ginger, and cloves.
Okay.
I always enjoy the smell of the pumpkin one.
Yeah, this one smells real good. I can smell the cinnamon in it.
Yeah.
And taste the cinnamon. I like that.
Yeah. It always reminds me of pumpkin pie for sure.
Yeah. It's really good. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I think this is either second or third favorite. I don't like it. I like it better than the chai, but not quite as much as I think the Awaken is still my favorite.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. I like it better than chai.
Yeah. Good.
A little bitter. But the cinnamon and the ginger I can definitely taste in it.
Yeah. It's got a nice aftertaste too. Like it reminds me of like pumpkin pie on the finish.
Yeah. It's really good. I like it a lot. The next time I make it, I might add a little bit of sweetener and just get a little bit more of a sweet taste.
And some pumpkin.
Huh?
Add some pumpkin too.
Sweet as in pumpkin?
Sweet. That too. Pumpkin and some whipped cream.
Oh, some whipped cream. Ooh, yeah. That'd be good. I like that. The Sega Dreamcast released on 9/9/1999 and was often described as ahead of its time. Yet it ultimately led to Sega retreating from the console business and led to them making third-party games. It was on the market for only 2 years before Sega stopped production and the Dreamcast were pulled off the shelves. Many factors played into the Dreamcast's failings. Even though they were running TV ads almost non-stop, they had a terrible slogan of its thinking, which didn't promote the system's capabilities nearly enough. The release window wasn't thought out either. The Dreamcast released in Japan a year before releasing in the US. This was the same time that the PlayStation 2 released, which killed the sales for the Dreamcast. All in all, Sega made lots of bad decisions throughout its console history, ultimately leading to their fall.
Yeah, I mean, the Dreamcast actually did okay. It was just that they had so many failures piled on top of it, they needed to make so much more money than they made.
Yeah.
I had a Dreamcast.
I wanted one really bad.
It was fun. It had some pretty decent games.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, so the PlayStation 2 was released 1 year after the Dreamcast came out in Japan, and it quickly shot to the top of the charts. The PlayStation 2 became the most sold console of all time, selling 150 million units. The added ability to play DVDs definitely helped skyrocket the console to stardom. It also had many well-known and well-loved exclusives, such as the Final Fantasy series, Ratchet and Clank, and many more. think Spyro was exclusive for a while, wasn't it? I was always jealous of that one.
It was.
Yeah. The PlayStation 2 also came with backward compatibility. Now the people who picked up the PlayStation 2 could also play their old games from the first PlayStation. Sony played the console game well once again and came out on top.
The Xbox launched in November 2001 and was the first American company to release a system that could support 3D graphics since the Atari Jaguar in the 90s. It was the first system to have an internal hard drive, which is awesome. Xbox had issues with their controller design, though, and it got many complaints about the bulky size of the controller. They later released a smaller version designed for the Japanese market, which ultimately got the second worst controller in history rating. A year later, Xbox Live was released, and despite having a subscription fee for the service, it was extremely successful and well liked. They had games that promoted multiplayer and were very user friendly. Xbox played the game well and is loved to this day.
I remember that controller. I hated that thing. My hands had to, you had to like travel across the controller to get anything done. I'm sending my hands way over here to get this shit done. The Nintendo Gamecube released in 2001 and was the first Nintendo console to release without a Mario game at the launch. Instead, launch titles included Luigi's Mansion and Rogue Leader. I had a GameCube at launch. Those were my games. It was also the first Nintendo system that strayed away from cartridges. With its compact size and carrying handle, the GameCube was designed to be portable. The GameCube discs, designed by Panasonic, were much smaller than the regular discs, so the GameCube could not play DVDs or CDs like the competition. A direct follow-up to the Nintendo Nintendo 64, the GameCube switched to disc-based games to keep up with the competition, as its use of cartridges was seen as the reason the Nintendo 64 lagged so badly behind the PlayStation. The discs could hold a decent amount of information, however. It was not large enough, and some games had to be split into multiple discs. That was pretty rare, though. I think I only ever had one multi-disc game.
Okay.
Despite switching to a disc-based system, Sony's DVD discs won out, and the GameCube, despite respectable sales and a bevy of memorable games, eventually began to stagnate. Nintendo hit some road bumps with the GameCube, but the console ultimately led to many more Nintendo successes. Much of what Nintendo learned with the GameCube they brought to the Wii, and for the first time in over a decade, they were able to win a console war.
Yes. Lots of great systems.
Oh yeah.
I had PlayStation 2, and I liked that a lot. And then I was super upset that Xbox released and they had a subscription service.
Yeah.
I thought that like totally, I wanted nothing to do with that. But like everyone was playing Xbox at the time. They're like, oh, you gotta get Xbox. Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah, because
great.
Everybody was into Halo.
Yeah. And then PlayStation finally decided to go with a subscription service. I was like, all right, screw it. Everyone has Xbox. I'm switching.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been more Nintendo myself. I had a GameCube.
Right.
Yes, I had a Dreamcast. Didn't get into the PlayStation until the PlayStation 3.
Okay. Yeah, I had lots of Nintendos too.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
It's your pal Copy the Cup. Thanks for checking out this week's episode of Coffee Nerds. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks. Bye. I love you.